Appalachian Mountains, there's a stretch of wilderness known as Blackwood Forest, infamous among locals for strange disappearances and eerie encounters. Hikers often report hearing whispers, seeing shadowy figures darting between the trees, or feeling an overwhelming sense of being watched. But one story, passed down by a group of experienced campers, stands out. In the summer of 2011, 3 friends, Eric, James, and Kyle, set off on a week-long hiking trip through Blackwood Forest. They had heard the local legends, but dismissed them as mere folklore. On their 3rd night, they set up camp near a quiet clearing, surrounded by towering trees. The air was unnervingly still, with no chirping insects or rustling leaves, just silence. That night, as they sat around their fire, a strange flickering light appeared in the distance. It looked like a lantern swaying between the trees. Thinking it might be another camper, they decided to investigate. As they followed the light, it led them deeper into the woods, where they stumbled upon an old wooden cabin, barely standing. The structure was decayed, covered in moss, and looked abandoned for decades. But strangely, a warm glow flickered through the cracks of the door. Curious but cautious, they knocked. No answer. Pushing the door open, they stepped inside. The cabin was eerily pristine, dust-free, with a table set for dinner and a fire burning in the stone hearth. It was as if someone had just left moments ago. Then, Kyle gasped. On the far wall hung 3 old, faded photographs. Each frame contained a picture of a different group of 3 men, all dressed in old-fashioned hiking gear. Their expressions were eerily blank, and beneath each picture was a nameplate. One of the nameplates read Eric, James, and Kyle. Before they could react, a cold gust of wind slammed the door shut. The fire in the hearth flickered wildly and then died, plunging the cabin into darkness. A whisper filled the room, raspy and inhuman. "You shouldn't have come." Panicked, they fumbled for their flashlights and yanked open the door, sprinting back through the woods. When they finally reached their camp, they grabbed their gear and ran all the way back to the trailhead, not stopping until they were in their car, speeding away from the forest. The next morning, determined to understand what they had seen, they searched for records of any abandoned cabins in Blackwood Forest. There were none. Even stranger, when they checked their GPS logs, the spot where they had found the cabin was marked as empty terrain. Nothing had ever been built there. Some say the cabin only appears to those who are fated to join the forest's lost souls, and those who ignore the warning never leave at all.